guys, how y'all doing? Okay, I had to think back some. Trying to think of where to start right now. Okay, back when I was in Central Florida, and I was at the that hotel that I was at the first time. Okay, the Somalinesian Inn. Okay, yeah, I'm just calling it that for a certain reason. Well, there was someone that worked there. I said that he was actually a flight attendant, but he came there to work there sometimes. Kind of weird. And he told me that his name was Osjay. Okay, I attempt to Pig Latin. I don't know Pig Latin, so work with that. But the hotel owners called him Injamin Bey. Okay, which I later find out. I didn't know that right away. And there was something about him. I just couldn't place it at the time. It was like he was familiar, but not familiar. Because that turned out to be White Rapper Boy. But he was wearing someone else's energy. And he was dressed up, and he looked, a spitting image exactly like, which I don't think this is a coincidence. There's a TV show. It's like on one of the cable channels or something, because I saw it at someone else's house. Rasputin's, as a matter of fact. I think I first saw it at the hotel. Well, no. It was later. It was after this happened. But it's like a practical jokers show of like 4 guys, and it's kind of, but there's one guy on it. He looks maybe kind of Spanish, Latino maybe, and his name's Sal. On this, TV show. And that's what he looked like. And he was constantly beeping the car. He'd sit there and smoke, but then he'd have to spray all his cologne on him, like he hated it, or I don't know, or was hiding it. Weird. Said he was married, had a wife, but yet never saw her. There's some people that showed up, but they were there for a little while and left. Suppose it was his family. Did you see my wife? Blah blah blah. I'm like, well, no, because you didn't introduce her. Who knows what was going on with that? But I didn't see my wife. But realizing that was White Rapper Boy, because this is what's gone on throughout my whole life. This asshole has shown up in some kind of garb, dressed up as a woman too, okay? Acting. He was also the GHR worker when it was my youngest son, okay? The initial CC. He was the one, White Rapper Boy, that was always setting me up with someone, to get catfished by someone, be involved in some relationship with someone. And this is someone that takes over someone by, drugging them, GHBing them, I don't know, poisoning them, turning someone into their pawn. And, it's all about them getting what it is they want. These people are serial killers. So my biological mother, she has 3 known children, all right? Well, one of them I found out after I was sent to prison because these people set me up on that. And so when I get out, that's when I, get hit with that, they tell me that my cousin died, but it wasn't really my cousin, it was really another half-sibling. And his name, Osjay. They all have the double J's initials. And, this is someone that, I didn't really know them, right? Remember them when I was really little, and they were really young, like, really young. But turns out he was, like, free-spirited, which that's what these people go after. If you're free-spirited, they come after you. And he supposedly committed suicide. Who do you think was behind that? I wonder where the money went. Because they, my whole life, it was like people were dying around me, and I couldn't understand what the hell was going on. It's like too much to go through that. It's like anywhere you go, then you hear news that somebody died. This person died. I'm like, what is going on? It didn't matter where I live, you know? So, yeah, you need to look at these people. And it's not just White Rapper Boy. It's my not sister, who's actually my cousin, which is my Uncle Creepy's daughter, who supposedly died. But, gee, I wonder who it was that got plastic surgery to look like me. I mean, Uncle Creepy, you know, twists people, you know, does everything he can to get people jealous and envious of someone else. Like, I mean, this is literally about him hiding his crimes and using other people to do it. Uncle Creepy. He's the one directing everyone. I mean, the main one directing everyone. And, of course, my biological mother. If you look at what happened to my, not mother, the one that I was told was my mother, they twisted her. I mean, she used to come after me all the time. They, like, take over someone and make them their pawn. And then they, you know, what they did to me, I know she signed everything over to me, you know, in her will, because I was at that time in Florida being tortured by Rasputin, starved. It was me and my kid, and you know, that's when I found out she died. And my not sister, who's actually my cousin, telling me, along with Uncle Creepy, that, oh, well, she wrote a will, but she gave it to your kids, which, that didn't even sound right. But they said that, oh, but she said a bunch of horrible things about you, so that means she was revealing shit on them because they were attacking her. I think because I left and wasn't there anymore, I couldn't. I was just being, you have no idea. Anyway, it was so bad, and I was like dying, you know, but that's what was happening to her. She signed everything over to me, knowing full well that if I had somewhere to go, I would have my kids there and keep them safe. I think she realized who it was that, you know, it was one of these people that were doing stuff to her. My not sister didn't give a shit. She didn't give a shit. None of them give a shit. But they become a pawn of Uncle Creepy and biological mother. The main one, I'd probably say, is probably Uncle Creepy. If you look back at Tsar Nicholas, all he cared about was about having an heir so that he could keep himself here. Okay? And that's what Alexandria was about as well. That's how they brought in the mystic Rasputin. Okay? So what do you think's happening now? They didn't care about anyone else. Right? So history repeats itself. You just look at what keeps happening. Right? These people, they want to look beautiful. They think everything's about the outside, you know, and not the inner. So they'll do anything to get that and to make themselves look like they're rich, wealthy, and have its image. That's all they care about is image. That gets fucked up, man. They just can't handle it. You know, that's the shit that makes them crash out. But they will kill people to get energy, life force, and they steal money. They'll, you know, they're all into insurance. I mean, as a little kid, I grew up with Uncle Creepy's insurance agency, and I worked for him. You know, he had cars that he would buy used and fix them up. But who do you think was the one working on the cars? Yeah. Oh, well, your hand's small enough, you can fit, you know, fit your hand, da-da-da. Whatever it was. This is someone that told me, I'm talking about Uncle Creepy, about Tom Sawyer. Oh, how he loved that. He loved how smart he was because he could trick everyone into doing this. So you have to understand the mindset behind this asshole. This is what he does. This is what he loves to do. And if he can get someone to do something like murder for him in any way, shape, or form, and twist him to do that, then they're fucked. They're under him because then he can blackmail him. If he can get him to do anything, he'll blackmail him into doing something. But yeah, White Rapper Boy and of course his mother, my mother, my biological mother, they're too late, right? And my not sister, who's actually my cousin, too late. You know, I mean, like, these people are too far gone. But everyone around me, every so-called person I dated, this is who White Rapper Boy was involved with, sending in. They send in someone to get information, whether they're aware of it or not. I mean, you already know what they did to me. So what do you think they do to everyone around? It's about them, drugging them, poisoning them, chloroform, GHB, it doesn't matter. There's just things I can remember that he would walk up to me and say in one of his little get-ups or something, and it'd just be something funny about it. And, I'd get this feeling about it. And of course, it's because it was him. It was White Rapper Boy. It's how they siphon off energy and are able to look into your dreams and can, so if you happen to see things about the future, well, now you understand, how they're doing what they're doing, how they make money off of that, how they siphon it. They turn into stories, into books, TV shows, movies, lyrics. Yeah, there's plenty of lyrics out there that I'm like, what the fuck's going on? How do they know that? See what I mean? Anyway. But he was also, in this so-called movie, supposedly about his life, but it's just a bunch of lies. But, the girl in that movie, she ended up later on dying. Well, who do you think's responsible for that? You just look at all the murders and so-called suicides, and you can pretty much figure out where it really went to, and who did he make into a pawn to get it from, to siphon off from them. These are people that like to brag about that they're so rich and da-da-da-da-da, and act like they're philanthropists, but they're not. They're not, These are the most evil people. Hitler. There's a song, Hitler only had one ball. I mean, this is someone that molested me when I was a little kid, and then pops up as someone else, after he's, drugged me, GHB or whatever it is, and I had no idea, okay? And trying to force himself on me. That's how I know he's only got one ball. It's disgusting. It's about, they do their humiliation rituals to make someone feel horrible, and then, it's whatever else they do to try to force someone to suicide. And if they can't get that, they're, or part of it is to put them in jail or like a mental hospital or whatever. How many of these people that are put in those places, especially mental hospitals, that have abilities and they're stifling it? They torture people to get money, to get whatever they want. But there's been all kinds of people around me that die, and I'm just like, what is going on? And they somehow end up richer. It's like all these people around me in this family are all rich and have homes, they have everything, but I don't. Well, how'd that happen? I've worked my ass off. Okay, I have all these injuries. Okay, I mean, my body tells the tale. White Rapper Boy does all this voodoo. I've been hobbled. I mean, I have a broken vertebrae in my back. It's floating. It's completely broken on both ends. What do they call it? The tailbone's all twisted and herniated. And I'm just, if they did a scan, they would be in disbelief how much damage. And I still walk around, but it hurts like hell. Don't let her have any pain relief. What the fuck? because they're hoping that it will cause me to like commit suicide. No, not even. These people are stupid. These people should have never put their time and energy on me. I see things, you know what I mean? I have dreams that are about the future, but also the past and present. And that's why, that's why you get things like TV shows like The Simpsons. Well, this told the future and da-da-da-da-da. Well, where do you think it comes from? From someone that can really see the future. And, I'm sure there's others because we have other readers and stuff like that. How long have they been doing this? When people are this wicked and do horrible things, and they're going to have to go through what they did to others in order to wake them up. Or some variation of that. But once they've murdered someone or they're killing animals, what the fuck? This shit's got to stop. Yeah, this is one of my manifestations I wanted, was to take down this cult and coven. Well, you cut the head off the snake, you get the top ones. That pretty much does it, doesn't it? And then you start finding out everything about everyone else. But not making excuses for these people that have done these horrible things, but you can see that they take people over. They drug them and poison them, which being poisoned can also involve being drugged, because it's against their will. It's not like something that they said, hey, this is what I want. Unless they're made to say it. Like, when someone has autism, they have echolalia, which that's like putting a microphone around someone that's dark and evil, and then you end up saying it. You don't even know why. You don't know what the fuck's going on. Yeah. I've said some things in these videos where I've just been like, mad. Now I know why, because that's how they feel. It's like they're putting their energy on me, and it's a shit ton of them. We're talking not just like 300 plus 1,000. It's a whole lot more. Because it's like the darkest one, two really, that got the most to hide. They're working everyone else to help them to hide it. If these people would just turn on them, they could save their ass. They're all made into pawns. This whole time that all this stuff's been happening, these past, I don't know, like 5-6 years. It's been longer than that, y'all, but I'm just talking about this recent 5-6 years past, that it's been him, White Rapper Boy, constantly trying to put himself in my head, in the vision. Like, that this is your arranged marriage, this is who you're supposed to marry. The fuck? I wouldn't marry you if you were the only man on earth. And that was my prayer. I didn't want to get married, who do you think Poseidon is? Poser I Don. White Rapper Boy. And I know he took me to the land that's mine and home. It was like a blue home, and it had all this acreage. And this is when he was dressed up as someone named N.E.K. Addicts Meg. Alright? And told me that, his dad wanted to be able to look out any window and see horses. Well, what dad is that? Yeah, I'm quite sure that was my land. And he just took it over. These people steal everything from people and think it's hee hee ha ha. They murder people, they kill people, they do voodoo to force them into suicide. These people are so dangerous that they should not be walking around free. By the way, White Rapper Boy, I'm not afraid of you. You're a little bitch. And I've always wondered that when I was young. I was like, why is this little brat that I went to school with hanging around with my so-called family? That's what I always called them. Because I didn't feel like I ever belonged. I didn't. Because he was like hanging around and talking to him. I'm like, what? It was really weird. And they'd sit there and laugh and tease me like, oh, he likes you and da-da-da. And I'm like, so? I didn't give a shit. I never liked him. And usually when it's something like someone I never liked, there's something really dark about them. Really dark. That's why they got to, give you the shots and anything with the, where they cause the metals to go through the blood-brain barrier so that they can delete your brain, your memories, your everything. And they traumatize the hell out of you so that you can't remember things either. So it's literally like taking someone who they really are away from who they really are so that they become a pawn for them. I mean, this shit shows up in the TV shows, movies, soap operas, whatever. Yeah, that was in Days of Our Nine Lives. Well, that's what I called it. But this shit showed up. I mean, serial killers like to brag. So, trust no one believe the evil things they've done. It's shown up in these like TV shows and movies. I mean, what's that one show, ripped from the headlines? It's like they take things and put it in the shows. They force people onto drugs. They force people onto, autism and taking their little V shots, you know what I'm talking about, to cause autism, delete their brain, and then take them over. This is horrible. It has to be stopped. This can't continue. There's so much evil they've done. If they just looked at the people around me through my life that died, even if I really didn't kind of know them and they died, it was, where did the money go? You have to kind of follow money until these people don't have any money and didn't really have it to begin with, and where did it go? That kind of tells a whole lot. It went to someone else that was stealing it. And I'm telling you, the head kingpin right here, Uncle Creepy. Yeah, and my biological mother, I can remember when I was really young, I'd go visit her. I never really understood why. I was kept away from the family, that side of the family a lot. And that was my grandparents that I know, gave me an inheritance. I don't know who else, other than my, not mother, but who I was told was my mother. But it sounds like there was more, like I had a trust fund or something like that. So they care about money. Everything's about money to these people, and they will do anything for it. It would be easy to bait them with something having to do with money. Easy as shit. Yeah. These people are sick. They're sicker than sick. How are they walking around free? But anyway, that's, what I'm, remembering and what's being brought up that I need to talk about. There's a lot of this stuff. And there's certain things that would help for me to remember more. There's more I could say, but it's like I can't really say it here. So, but that's what I can do for now. All right, y'all. Take care. God bless.